7 makeup mistakes women over 50 make, thinking they look younger. The goal of applying makeup is to look present, vibrant, and entirely at home in your skin. We're all tempted by the promise of instant youth, aren't we? A new foundation, a viral concealer trick, a sparkly shadow that looks fabulous on a 22-year-old influencer. Surely that will turn back the clock. I get it. I've tested my fair share of miracle ideas. However, in working with readers and friends over the years and experimenting on my own face, I've noticed a pattern. The things we do thinking they'll make us look younger often do the opposite. Our brains equate cover more, add more, tighten more with look younger, when the face actually reads youth as light, lift, and life. If you've ever looked in the mirror and thought, why does this look heavier than it did in my 30s? This one's for you. Below are 7 common missteps and simple fixes that can help your features look fresher, softer, and more alive without feeling like a whole new routine. 1. Over-mattifying everything. Have you ever powdered so much that your face looked like a chalkboard by noon? Matte used to be the gold standard because many of us were taught that shine equals sloppy. Past 50, however, over-mattifying erases the quality that communicates youth. Light, bouncing off healthy skin. Flat, powdered skin turns texture into a spotlight. Fine lines look deeper, and features look less dimensional. What to do instead? Think selective matte. Hydrate first. Yes, even if your combination. A pea size of moisturizer and a drop of face oil pressed into the high points can make foundation glide rather than grip. Apply a thin, sheer layer of foundation only where you actually need it. The center of the face, around the nose and mouth. Then blend outward with a damp sponge so edges disappear. Powder just the places that genuinely shine. Usually the sides of the nose and the middle of the forehead. Keep the tops of the cheeks, temples, and Cupid's bow with a subtle sheen. That contrast, soft glow here, control there, looks modern and awake. Less product and more intention. Skipping skin prep and hoping makeup will fix texture. I see this all the time. We think, I'll just add more coverage. Yet more coverage on unprepped skin behaves like spackle on dry wall. If makeup is sliding, clinging, or balling up, it's rarely a foundation problem, it's a canvas problem. When the base is rough or underhydrated, every pigment exaggerates that story. Give yourself 2 minutes of prep, mist or splash with water, apply a hydrating serum then moisturizer, and let it sit for 60 seconds. If sunscreen is part of your routine, and I hope it is, choose a formula that plays well under makeup. You'll find you need half as much foundation when the surface is supple. Real texture needs to look moisturized and alive. 3. Overdoing under-eye concealer and lining the lower lash line. Tell me if this sounds familiar. You swipe on a bright, thick concealer to cancel darkness, set it with lots of powder so it won't crease, then rim the lower lashes in black to define. 5 minutes later, creases, and the lower eye looks heavy. The under eye is delicate terrain. Heavy product collects and announces itself, and dark liner underneath creates a visual shadow that drags the eye downward. A touch of peach or bisque corrector right at the inner corner, where the darkness is actually deepest, cancels blue or purple tones so you need far less concealer overall. Tap the smallest amount of creamy concealer only where you still see darkness and leave the outer under eye almost bare. Skip powder, or tap the tiniest veil with a fluffy brush only where you crease. For definition, tight line the upper inner rim, press pigment into the roots from beneath. And keep the lower lash line mostly clean. If you crave balance, smudge a soft taupe or gray-brown shadow just at the outer third of the upper lash line and flick it slightly upward. 4. Treating brows like a single block or forgetting them entirely. Brows are architecture. Over-tweezed, blocky, or blacked-out brows can age you because the brain reads them as harsh. However, sparse, invisible brows age you too because they remove structure from the middle of the face. Here's the middle path. Feather, don't fill. Choose a brow pencil or pen That's 1 to 2 shades lighter than your hair, unless your hair is very light, in which case go slightly deeper with a neutral taupe. Create hair-like strokes only where you're missing them, usually at the arch and tail. Then soften with a spoolie. Resist the urge to square off the inner corners. That's where brows naturally look softest. A clear or lightly tinted gel can lift hairs upward, creating a subtle brow lift without any sharpness. Look straight into the mirror and ask yourself, do your brows look like two identical stamps? If yes, backcomb with a spoolie to blur the fronts. 5. Placing blush and bronzer too low and too far forward. When we're trying to add color back, we sometimes plop blush right on the apples and sweep bronzer in a low stripe under the cheekbone. It's classic, but it can pull the face downward and inward. Think in terms of lift and breath. Cream blush or a very fine powder, placed slightly higher than you think on the upper outer cheek, then blended toward the temple, acts like an instant mini facelift. If you smile to place your blush, relax your face afterward and make sure the color isn't sitting in the lower fold. Add the tiniest kiss of color to the bridge of the nose and the top of the forehead to mimic natural flush. With bronzer, go for a sheer wash where the sun would hit, high on the forehead, tops of the cheeks, and a little along the jawline. Avoid strong stripes beneath the cheekbone. A shadow there can read hollow on camera and in daylight. A small placement tweak changes everything. 6. Clinging to old eye colors and finishes that fight your undertone. We all have a nostalgic shade we loved in our 20s. Frosty silver, icy purple, or the exact gray we wore to every wedding. The problem is the finish and undertone. Highly metallic shimmer scatters light. Beautiful on smooth lids. But on crepey lids, it emphasizes every fold. Cool silvers on a warm complexion can look stark. Muddy browns on a cool complexion can look flat. Choose satin or soft pearl finishes. They give radiance without texture, and pick undertones that harmonize with your skin. If your veins look more green and gold jewelry flatters you, try warm neutrals, caramels, bronzes, rosy browns. If your veins look more blue and silver jewelry sings on you, reach for taupes, plums, and cool browns. Instead of placing light, sparkly shadow all over the lid, keep the sheen on the mobile lid center and the matte tones in the crease to create depth. If you love sparkle or adding glitter, try an ultra-fine topper, pressed only at the very center, near the lash line. 7. Going too dark and flat with lips, or skipping definition altogether. Many of us choose deep, flat matte lipsticks, thinking bold equals polished. On mature lips, though, very dark or very matte shades can shrink the mouth and sink the lower half of the face. On the flip side, skipping liner and color entirely can make features fade. The sweet spot is softly defined, hydrated lips in tones that echo your natural color. If you're vegan like me and prefer balm formulas, layer a nourishing balm, then dab it off so there's slip but not slide. Use a lip liner that matches your lip tone, not your lipstick, to sketch the outer edge with the lightest pressure, lifting more at the cupid's bow. Then apply a satin or balm lipstick in a shade close to your natural lip, 1 or 2 steps deeper. A touch of gloss or balm just at the center reads plush without feathering. If you love a statement lip, keep the rest of the face simplified and choose a creamy finish. A brighter rose or berry often looks more youthful than a very dark brown or maroon. The bottom line, makeup is a set of tiny decisions that either add weight or add life. And the beautiful thing about tiny decisions? Well, you can change them tomorrow. If one of these tweaks made you raise an eyebrow, try it this week. 5 minutes, 1 change. See how your face responds and notice how you feel about it. The goal is to look like you. A you that looks present, vibrant, and entirely at home in your skin. What's your plant-powered archetype? Ever wonder what your everyday habits say about your deeper purpose and how they ripple out to impact the planet? This 90-second quiz reveals the plant-powered role you're here to play, and the tiny shift that makes it even more powerful. 12 fun questions, instant results, surprisingly accurate.